nothing's getting fixed. I knew they were going to target Social Security. Credit card balances through the roof. It's unreal, guys. Is there a quick fix to our economy? I'm going to just go ahead and throw that one out there because we keep hearing that things are getting better. Our banks are sound. Inflation's going down. But, at the end of it all, is anything really getting fixed? You know what, though? Comment what you guys think has actually been fixed with our economy these past few years, or comment if nothing has been fixed. Heck, while you at it, just comment what you think needs fixing. Now, we're seeing credit card balances reach record highs while household spending continues to go down. So what does that mean? Well, in a nutshell, more Americans are now unable to pay off their debts, even with them cutting costs. Now, on the topic of costs and expenses, do you guys feel guilty whenever you're prompted at the self-checkout to tip and you don't do it? Now, reports are coming out that customers aren't very comfortable with this, at least not like before, especially if we're not even sure that the tips we leave are going to go to the right people. And this is not the craziest story that I have to share with you guys, as I have one of kids working the night shift at a very popular fast food chain. Now, when I say kids, I'm talking about 10-year-olds. How crazy is that, right? Can you guess which fast food chain I'm talking about? And if you guys are asking if this is illegal, you bet it is. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen continues to sound the alarm about the debt ceiling, and wouldn't you know it, she issues another warning for those of you guys who are on Social Security. Why do they keep doing this? What is this fear-mongering that's going on up there? Do you guys think that the federal government should have access to Social Security payments? Just comment yes or no on that one. Just seems a little bit unfair to me. But let's not waste any more time. Let's jump right into the updates. Also, for the very best way to protect yourself and your home, get your free home warranty quote. There is a link in the description down below. Never be caught off guard by another very expensive, unexpected home repair again. Get your free home warranty quote. There's a link down below in the description of this video. To understand the state of our economy and how households are holding up these days, look no further than credit card debt, as it is a major indicator if things are going well with Americans. Now, just in the first quarter of 2023, credit card debt has already jumped to 26% compared to 2022. Now, according to TransUnion, the average credit card debt per borrower is sitting at $5,733 in the first quarter. Now, if we're talking about personal loans, that's sitting at $11,281 per borrower. Now, the balances for credit cards are close to hitting $1 trillion nationwide. And as the Federal Reserve continues to raise interest rates, it's only going to become that much harder for some households to catch up. The average interest rate for credit cards is at around 20.33%, but that's the average. Just imagine having poor credit. Michelle Ranieri, Vice President of U.S. Research and Consulting at TransUnion, she had this to say about our dilemma. Quote, people need to recognize what their spend is compared to their budget. Now, if you look back at the pandemic, people had less than they were purchasing. They had stimulus checks. They also had lower balances than usual. And they had really low delinquencies because they were able to pay their bills off as well. Now, as we emerge out of that, and I feel like we're getting to a point of it coming back to being normal, consumers are looking at how to use credit, end quote. To give you guys an idea, our savings hit a peak of around $2.1 trillion through August, thanks to the stimulus checks and other types of free money that was being thrown out by the federal government and, of course, the Fed. Let's not forget about tax credits, child tax credits, EIDL, PPP forgivable loans, and whatnot. But about $1.6 trillion of that money has already been spent since then. And so this means that less Americans have dollars today, and that means less of us are buying these goods. Now, when that happens, inflation may slow down because the supply will have now overcome the demand. So does this mean that the Fed will stop raising interest rates? Maybe, but at the same time, this is what they're pushing for, right? For the labor market to soften and for less of us to be out there buying whatever we want. Like it or not, that's what they want to happen. Now, having said all that, household spending is expected to keep going down until 2024. Now, here's a question for you though. How do you feel about tipping? How about tipping on self-checkout counters? They're actually becoming more and more common at digital checkout kiosks. But you gotta ask, are the workers even gonna see a cent of whatever extra you give? Or is this mostly just a ruse for the store to make more money? And it's not like they're gonna be providing us with an audit of their tips. Some call it emotional blackmail, while others say that tipping is showing how bad inflation has gotten. It's now gotten to a point where landlords are asking for tips. I'm not even sure if this post was satire, but somebody posted on TikTok about how landlords should be provided tips on top of the rent that you're paying since they're available to you 24/7. Oh, there are landlords that are available to you 24/7 to fix whatever is wrong with your apartment? What are your thoughts on that? And for anybody who's renting right now, would you provide a tip to your landlord? Now, speaking of tips, would you hand over some extra cash if the worker was 10 years old? Now, believe it or not, this happened at a McDonald's where more than 300 kids were found working in different branches across Kentucky and several other states. Now, I'm not talking about those cute bring your kids to work experiences, so that they can see what a work environment is like. No, sir. We're talking about 10-year-old kids handling the deep fryer and working until like 2 o'clock in the morning. Absolutely crazy. How did this happen? According to them, one of the restaurants who had 10-year-olds working were children of the night manager who were visiting their parent at work, but that the franchisee organization management did not give their approval to have them work those shifts. The violations of federal laws that were committed could have penalties that will total more than $212,000. And on that particular note of penalties, why does Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen keep repeating that Social Security is on the line of the debt ceiling limit talk? Now, I think she's gone on like 2 different interviews where she specifically singled out beneficiaries. Here, check this out.
Okay, let's assume for the sake of argument it's June 1st. What happens that day if the debt limit has not been extended?
Well, Treasury finds itself in a position where we're unable to pay all of the bills that come due that day. And this would be really the first time in the history of America that we would fail to make payments that are due. And, whether it's defaulting on interest payments that are due on the debt or payments due for Social Security recipients or to Medicare providers, we would simply not have enough cash to meet all of our obligations.
This is the same narrative that she continues to push. And it makes you wonder, are we not paying a cent on our debt? Or have they already dipped in the Social Security benefits and it's already tapped out? And since we're talking about debt and we discussed credit cards earlier, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, let's go ahead and talk about the silver lining. Well, think of it of a more like a grayish silver lining, not exactly silver, but you get the point. Now, with our debt as high as it is, the CFPB, which is the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, they're planning to propose reforming credit card penalty fees. Now, let's just think about this for a second, right? Instead of telling people, guys, it's all about paying on time and cleaning up your debt, don't let it linger in your accounts, they would rather encourage that we borrow more money because they're going to do something about our late fees. Don't get me wrong, these credit card companies, they need a reality check because, they're making so much money off of our troubles. So lowering fees or getting rid of them is not a great idea. But at the same time, we have to let go of this mentality that debt is normal and that it's all right to have it until our last breath. But what are you guys' thoughts on today's updates? Now, if you got anything to share with me, please drop me some comments down below. I always read all of the comments. Now, I still have one more thing to share with you guys, and that's to let you guys know that you could always drop me some comments down below. You might ask, what for though? Well, if you're looking to learn about ways as to how you can solve most, if not all of your financial troubles, maybe I can create some videos to help you guys. Now, there's plenty that we could talk about, starting with investments. There's opportunities opening up in the real estate market as well as the stock market. Now, we can also look to improve cash flow with side hustles and small businesses, and that can rack up some serious streams of income. But again, the first step has to come from you guys. So anyway, hope to hear from you guys soon. And before I go, please leave a like for the video and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. I do appreciate you guys watching. Y'all be safe. I'm gonna see you on the next one.